This stock I'm about to present might be the next Nvidia, and I hope you don't skip this video, otherwise you might be missing out on a big investment. You see, I don't think any stock is more popular than Nvidia today. Everyone's talking about it, everyone wants to buy some shares, and for good reason, right? After all, AI is taking over, and Nvidia is selling the picks and shovels for this gold rush. Its GPUs, for instance, have become absolutely essential in this new, super technological world we are entering. But here's the thing, everyone already knows that, right? And when something is already that obvious, that famous, it usually means that most of the gains are already gone. There's no doubt Nvidia is an excellent company. The problem is that this stock is also incredibly expensive. That's why today we are going to talk about a tiny company that almost no one is paying attention to. At least, not yet. But this company is building something that could become just as important as Nvidia's products in our increasingly digital world. But you see, since its bottom in 2022, Nvidia went from $12 to the current $165. That's more than a 13x return. A massive move. And if I'm right, this stock I'm about to share with you could deliver similar returns, if not even bigger. Now, before we begin, in case you don't know me, my name is Victor and I run Capital Edge Research. If you are interested in under-the-radar stocks with a lot of potential, check it out. Now, while Nvidia supplies the essential tools, like GPUs, to power AI, today's stock, provides something just as vital for AI success. Data. In other words, if Nvidia builds the engines that drive AI, this company supplies the fuel. Now, let me explain what I mean. What does AI feed on? Data, right? AI is basically trained on everything that exists on the internet, and that content was created by us. So in simple terms, AI runs on our data. And to be fair, that's nothing new. I mean, big companies have been collecting our personal data for years without our permission. The thing is, the world is starting to change. The way personal data is used and who controls it is evolving. But until now, companies and AI models could just take our personal data and use it however they wanted. User consent didn't really matter. But that's starting to shift, and fast. Several new laws are being introduced around the world, requiring companies to get explicit user consent before using their personal data. The California Consumer Privacy Act is one example of that. It forces companies to be transparent about how they collect, use, and share consumer information. Besides, it also gives people the right to request the deletion of their data and to say no to the sale of their personal information to third parties. And California is just the beginning. Similar laws are being passed in places like Europe and many US states such as Maryland, Texas, and Virginia. In other words, privacy is becoming a serious matter, and failing to follow these rules is becoming very expensive. For instance, California's Delete Act imposes fines of $200 per consumer per day on data brokers who fail to comply with data deletion requests. So these privacy laws are not just talk, and even the big players are feeling the impact. Look at what happened to Google, for example. In May 2025, Texas hit the company with a $1.4 billion fine for secretly collecting users' location and biometric data. Or look at what happened to Meta, which also took a $1.4 billion fine for collecting biometric data without users' consent. That's how real this is getting. In fact, this shift in privacy laws is becoming so radical that even Oracle shut down its third-party data and advertising division in 2024 due to growing regulatory pressure. So as you can see, these new privacy regulations have become a real challenge for companies of all sizes, and the demand for consented data has never been higher. The question is, where can companies get compliant data on a massive scale? Well, that's where today's company comes in. Now, before I review its name, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to leave your like, okay? And I also invite you to subscribe. But as you've seen, consented data, compliant data, is becoming as crucial as Nvidia's GPUs in our super technological digital world. As they say, data is the new oil. The problem is where to get this compliant data on a massive scale. As I said, that's where today's company comes in. Today's company is the solution to this big problem, to this big issue. Because you see, this company operates as a marketplace of consented private data. Through its platform, users like you and me can sell their personal data with consent and get paid for it. While on the other hand, companies can buy the compliant data they so badly need directly from users. In other words, today's company basically operates as the Uber of personal data. But okay, it's time for the big review. After all, which company, which stock am I talking about? Well, I will tell you that now, and then I will explain why this stock could easily be a 10x investment from its current levels. But today's company is called Reclaim, listed on the TSX Venture under the ticker MyID and on the US OTC as MyIDF. And I'm leaving the link down below to the brokerage I use to buy these stocks listed on these alternative exchanges, okay? Now, before we continue, it's also good to remember that nothing in this video is investment advice. Now, as we see here, Reclaim is a $10 million market cap company that, as I mentioned, operates as the only private data marketplace in the world. And yet, barely anyone is paying attention to it. And as I said, if Nvidia is building the engines that drive AI, this company is set to supply the fuel. After all, AI feeds on our data, right? And these privacy issues are already making their way into the AI space. For instance, the AI Act has just been implemented in Europe as the first regulation of its kind, and it's likely just a matter of time before this trend starts spreading across other countries, such as the US. But according to this regulation, people can now request clear explanations on how their data is processed. And of course, that's a big opportunity for Reclaim. After all, since AI relies on our personal data, these regulations mean that AI companies will soon need compliant, consented data on a massive scale too. Now, imagine what that could represent for Reclaim. But okay, I think you already understood what Reclaim is and how it is linked to AI. Now, before I explain how Reclaim could be the next Nvidia in terms of return potential, I'm leaving a 40% discount coupon down below for Capital Edge Research, okay? I still only have 2 investment ideas there, but both are great picks. So Reclaim operates as the Uber of personal data. Now, how could it be a 10x investment? Well, it's simple. Look at the multiples the stock is trading at. As we can see here, Reclaim has a market cap of around $10 million, while it has generated about $4 million in revenue over the last 12 months. That means this company is trading at about 2.5 times revenue. However, let me point out that these are high-quality revenues, okay? Since we have here an 80% plus gross margin. Moreover, Reclaim's business is also highly scalable, and this company is already profitable and generating cash. I mean, it's incredibly rare to find a microcap with numbers like these, already profitable and already generating cash. Besides, Reclaim has basically no debt, and lastly, it has been growing at an impressive pace. For instance, as we see here, Reclaim has grown about 30% over the last 12 months. Meanwhile, again, this stock is trading at just 2.5 times revenue. I mean, at least in my opinion, that's an incredibly low multiple for a company like this. For me, this stock could easily trade at 10 times revenue, at 20 times revenue. If that happened, if Reclaim traded at 20 times revenue, well then, this would already be almost a 10x investment, without considering any growth at all. In fact, I don't know about you, but I can easily see this company reaching 20 million in revenue over the long run. Now, if that happened, and if this stock traded at 10 times revenue, then Reclaim's market cap would already reach 200 million. And in this case, Reclaim would be a 20x investment from its current levels. So that's why I said that Reclaim could be the next Nvidia in terms of gains. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Reclaim is one of my biggest positions, and I believe that this stock has a lot of room to run, a lot of room to go up. Well, that's it for today, and see you next time.